Okay, folks, so we're going to make your car go forward and turn using this L298 motor controller. Remember, you're going to have two motors, one connected to these three pins. Remember, you're going to remove this jumper right here, this enable jumper, so you can adjust the speeds. In case it's going a little too crazy fast on you, you can adjust that. That's going to be your speed. Then these two pins are your direction for this motor right here. This one and this one, these two right here, IN3, IN4, those are your direction for this motor, and this one right here, this jumper, you have to remove it, and there'll be a pin here, and that's going to be your speed for that one. So it's these three over here, these three over here. All right, given that information, we could write some code. First thing we're going to do is set up all those pins, of course. So we're going to say pin mode, and we'll say pin. And actually, we could actually name all these pins as well if you wanted to. So on my Arduino, I'm going to use, let's say, 3 for the speed. And I'm going to put output. That's going to be pin 3. And then pin mode, pin 4 and 5 will be the directions. And to be honest with you, it's going to get really confusing with all these pins and changing them inputs and outputs, But they're all going to be outputs, but you may get confused on calling on these, but definitely put some notes up here or name them if you wanted to name them. You could always say like INT, and then you could say pin 3 is equal to speed. Obviously I can't use speed, that's a code, you turn to orange, right? So I'll call it speed 1. So that's the motor 1 speed, and then I can say INT 4 is equal to direction 1, I guess, 1A, because there's technically 2 directions. So you can call it direction 1A and direction 2A. For now, I'm just going to keep it more simple, and I'm just going to say that these 3 are the motors. Don't forget to put comments so that you don't forget that. Speed of motor 1. So pin, I could say it's pin technically, right? And this one is direction for motor 1. And this one's also the direction for motor 1 because there's 2 pins. So there's 2 pins. If you send a high to one and a low to the other, it goes in one direction. But if you send a high to this one and a low to that one, so you flip it, it goes the other direction. If both of these are high or both are low, the motor will turn off. Okay, so it's like turning the motor off. All right, we're gonna need 2 motors for this. So let's go here, pin mode 6. I don't know if pin 6 is a PWM. I think it is, but if it's not, definitely change what I'm doing because this one's going to be a speed pin again, and it has to be a PWM pin. And then I'll just say 7 and 8 are the direction pins, and these are all for motor 2. I keep capitalizing all that. 8 output. And there we go. So these are all for motor 2, and you can go ahead and comment these as well. Now, let's say I want to drive straight, right? Well, I need this wheel right here. I need this wheel to go forward, and I need this wheel to go forward. So I need them both to go the same direction, technically, right? So to do that, we first have to set the direction. So we're going to say pin mode. We're going to say digital right to pin 4. We're doing 4 and 5. These are the direction pins right here. So 4 is going to be high, and digital right pin 5 is going to be low. Now you're wondering, how do I know if it's supposed to be low and high, or is it supposed to be high and low to make it go straight? I honestly don't know. I have no idea. if this was me and I was in the class, I would just put one high, one low, and try to do the same for the other one. And I would say, hey, that's going to go forward. If one of the wheels or both of them don't go forward, I would flip the motor wires, the two motor wires that go right here. The two wires that go here, I would just flip them backwards. Then I know it's going to go the right direction now. I think it's faster than changing all the code. And then I would go, hey, I said this one's high and this one's low, and the other motor, dang it, that one too is going the wrong direction. Okay, no big deal. I thought it was going to go the right direction. It is now, because I'm going to unscrew these. I'm not all the way, just loosen them, change the wires backwards, and then tighten it back. And now the motor will go the other direction. That's how simple motors work. All right, then I need to maybe set the other two pins for the correct direction. So digital. I want the directions all set up before I tell it to turn on, right? And then I'm going to say pin, and these ones are the directions. So this is a speed motor 2, and this one's directions. And this one's also the direction. Remember, there's 2 pins for the directions. All right, so I'm going to do now I'm going to do pin 7 and 8. So 7 is going to go high, but the other one has to go low. Remember, if they're both high or both low, the motor won't turn on. Right, and then 8 low. All right, so there we go. I got all my stuff correct. And now let's turn the 2 motors on. So I'm going to say analog right, because these are pulse width modulation pins, the speeds. This is how I can tell what speed it is. I'm going to say analog right. And I'm going to say to pin 3. And I'm going to say whatever speed I want. 255 is full blast. But, you know, I might want to try a slower speed, 120 or something. And analog right. Pin 3. Nope. The other one is pin 6 right here, right? Speed is pin 6. So pin 6 is, and I'll make sure it's the same speed. We don't want them going different speeds. By the way, if you do notice when you turn this on, let's say you activate this, it should go straight, right? And you fix the directions so they're going the right directions with the wires, and they're both going forward. But one wheel is moving faster than the other, maybe because one motor is better. Maybe the electricity going to one is running a little smoother. Maybe one wheel is slightly bigger. I don't know, but maybe one's moving faster. Your car is not going to go perfectly straight. One might go a little faster, and you're going to end up kind of turning just a tad bit, maybe. If that bugs you, let's say this one right here is going a little too fast, this wheel, you can slightly change this to like 118, 117, 115 and try it out. See if you can fix that problem. Okay? Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you to do is to put a note for every section. So I'm going to say goes straight for, 15 feet. The very first task is for you to go 15 feet. So I need this to stay on, and then I need to say delay. So just let it keep doing that for a while. And I'm going to guess it's 10 seconds, but I don't know. 10 seconds is like 10,000 milliseconds. So I'm going to say waits 10 seconds. And then I got to turn the motors off. I can do that by taking these, copy. And by the way, once I have these analog rights, I don't ever have to change these to 0, because I could turn the motors off and on over here. Okay, so copy, paste, and I could just say, make them all low, and that should turn them off. Low, low. There we go. So this turns motors off, so it goes straight for 15 feet, then stops. That's this code. Now let's say you need to turn, right? So let me enter down here. If you need to turn, let's write a note. Turns right 90 degrees. How are we going to do that? Let's just copy all this and let's look at it. Paste. Well, I want one wheel to be off. So I already turned them all off. This thing's not working right now, right? They're all off. I need to turn only one wheel on, preferably the left wheel. So I don't know which wheel that was for you, but for me it might be, let's say this is motor 1 right here. So I want to turn right. So I want to turn this wheel on. Technically, if you want to turn even sharper, you can turn this one on backwards and this one on forward. You should really turn right. Depends how you want to do it. But let's say I'm just going to turn the one motor on. So I'm going to turn only motor 1 on. This is motor 1, if you recall. I could leave this code in here, but technically it should still be running. I've never turned this off. So, but it doesn't hurt to put it back on. So this will turn one wheel on forward, and then it sets it to that speed. And of course, we're only going to do this for like, I don't know, half second, 1 second. I don't know how long it's going to take to turn. You're going to have to play with it. And so waits 1 second. And then technically this motor is still off, so I don't need this code technically, though if you left it in here, it wouldn't do anything. But so it turns right 90 degrees. So what I'm doing is turning one motor on, then I'm setting the speed, which it already was, waiting a second, then turning those two motors off again. Okay, and if this turned too much, then make this time less. If it didn't turn enough, add a little bit more time and play with it until it turns perfectly 90 degrees. All right, so the directions on how it's supposed to drive are going to be in Google Classroom. You're going to have to submit me all the code that you are going to guess. So you could totally just guess like I'm doing how long each thing is. But during the week, we're going to take this code and we're going to manipulate it and change it until it works right by testing it, running it on the line, see if it works, and then going back and forth. So don't forget this thing down here. Your curly bracket should still be there. I just moved it down a lot. There it is. And there it is right there. And that's it, folks.